to stop a little bit and just take a few moments to breathe and relax again, and then we go on, you know. So the temperature shifts are really quite remarkable, even to someone like me that is used to it and for whom it is a reality, you know.
Interesting. What do you find that is often the case with people who have illnesses such as cancer or AIDS or whatever the illness is? Do you find that this is that illness is a manifestation of spirit speaking at the cellular level to get us to wake up to something that we're not acknowledging about ourselves?
Well, I found from my experience, of course, that at a deeper level, every single disease is symptomatic of a disconnection of the trilogy that we are meant to be, you know, a soul, mind, and body in harmony. And also I found that to use more simple language really, at the core of a disease, it is very often lack of love for self, lack of love for others, lack of love for nature, for the nourishing mother that is our planet. So there is like a disconnection. That would be the most accurate way to put it. And so healing takes place because this reconnection is possible again. The person can connect to self, to the greater love that is all that is. And so from that perspective of reconnecting, everything is healed and fixed again, you know. It is almost as if we sort of live on an elastic that we push, and then it breaks. And then we need to reconstruct it again. We need to rewire ourselves permanently. Well, you know, I was reading your book and I kept thinking exactly that, just how amazing and how many times you had to reconnect your wires all over again. So you know exactly what I'm talking about. I hope our listeners also are able to grasp that, because at some level, I always like to say, you know, only love heals. And a healer is nothing else than perhaps an instrument to tap into those higher energies of deep divine love and then bring them about for the person at the bottom of the fingertips, you know. And even the fingertips are only just a little bit of the transmitter, because when you are standing before someone that comes humbly to ask and to surrender themselves, body, soul, and mind to you for healing, you are then functioning more from the heart than whatever energy flows through your ends. You know, everything is happening at the heart level. In fact, it happens so much at the heart level that if we were to try to explain it through a more complicated mental or intellectual process, we would fail miserably, you know. So let us not go there. Ask me something else.
Yeah. I agree with you, and of course, it seems that it's easier for literally the female sex to be more connected to the intuitive feminine side, obviously, because you have the right brain active and you are able to connect directly to life. In other words, the ability to give birth connects you directly to the whole process of giving life and connecting to life. And yet, of course, we males have the ability to work on that side as well, and we have many lives in which we are male or female or maybe a bit of both.
Yes, even so, you know, I have, from my own experience coming into planet Earth, I experienced a father that was far more nurturing and far more motherly than my own mother ever was able to be. So, you know, as you know, ultimately we are in this costume that we call male or female, but our polarities are within both. So I am both of a male and a female polarity, and so is everybody else. And ultimately, what makes the difference is to be in tune both with one's power, say, to express, to create, to direct, which is perhaps more masculine, and then also to be connected to that power to nurture, to heal, to care, to hold, to connect, which is more feminine, in fact. And at the end of the day, it would be a lame excuse for males to continue to think, that is an issue of females, and it's hard for us. It becomes a way to retreat into, the whole cliche, no, I can't do it sort of thing. So we need to start looking at ourselves beyond gender and realize that our polarity is there, both masculine and feminine, at all times in all of us without exception. And so bring that forth and connect to those energies, then woman would cease to be perhaps more in the tendency also to be in victimhood mode, and be able to, you understand, to be more upfront about their own gifts, about their own desires, to be able to express them with greater integrity as well. And so we would be grown up if we were to, or more able to grow up as human beings, if we were able to tap into those two polarities that we really are, because we are not just a female or just a male or just in between genders. We are ultimately perfection, and in our templates of perfection there is that energy, and it is up to us, and that's why we are on planet Earth in different costumes. It's up to us to see beyond the costume with which we arrived here, that we have to stop, Lance, identifying with our outward appearance, with our bodies, with our physical realities, because really, ultimately, that is not who we are. So as a healer, that is where I always feel I need to heal the memory of someone sitting there, because that is not who they are. I cannot look at anyone and see a sick person. I have to already be mirroring back to them the perfection, that they really are. Otherwise, healing cannot happen. I need to shift them. I need to help them to do that shift. And so on a program like ours, I'd like to say that from the beginning, no excuse for males. That's woman are more in tune, the moon and the cycle and the whole thing. No.
Right. Well, have you noticed that some of the people who you work with who are there for healing are beginning to experience manifestations of the ramping up of the energies that many of my guests share about right now?
Yes. Oh, yes. We feel it all the time.
Sometimes they call them ascension symptoms, or, there are different names for it, the shift, earth ascending, whatever, how you want to call it, but a lot of people are having those little aches and pains, aren't they?
Yes, of course, but this is a process that has started not just recently. It has been going on with us for the past 10 years. And one of the most profound symptoms, actually, I don't know if anybody else before me has mentioned it, is the symptom of wings growing at the back. The ends of your shoulder blades feel like something there is like dying to grow, And of course we call it our wings are sort of on the waiting list to appear in full-blown scale. And that is actually very typical with healers. We feel at the shoulder blades this intense discomfort at times where you need to massage yourself in order to be able to continue helping others, because all that energy at the end of the shoulder blades, almost closer to the back of the heart chakra, gets such incredible amounts of energy stagnated there before they are distributed into the arms, and therefore the energy can then circulate into the patient, that it is a well-known symptom. And some of the patients, by tuning into you, of course, because this business of healing is not one way only, you know. Even so, we would love to believe that we are always on transmitting mode. That is not how it really works. We are both transmitters and receivers in the same manner that we are simultaneously masters and students, givers and takers, and so on and so forth. You know, we have this ongoing polarity here. And so the patients also will say, oh, my shoulders are sore, my heart at the bottom is sore, you know. So I know they're picking up on my own, where sometimes it's, you know, I pick up everything on a patient, of course. Thank God, not at a very high level or pitch of pain, but enough to guide my hands and to guide me to place them at least in the correct position and in the correct place of their biology. And it's a wonderful feeling, you know, when you feel that you can literally penetrate another person's being and be there with them and feel with them and sense with them. And it is only a deep love that really is the allowance for you to move into this energy and be one with this person. I always say to my patients, you know, when we will start together, you and I will be one energy, and being in that space is so sacred that we have to almost say a prayer of gratitude even before we move into there, because that is exactly where we're going to be moving in together, is to be in that place together. And I'll feel every molecule of your body, and you probably will feel every molecule of mine. So it's a lovely place to be, you know?
Wow, it's amazing. Well, you know, it's been said that we're all one energy, so one spirit.
Oh, yes, we are.
Maybe the barriers are breaking down between us because it's the illusion that we're separate is the skin bag that we wear. And, of course, it's hard to break that down when we identify with that and have so many attachments to it. But it sounds like you're breaking down those barriers already. You know,
oh, yes, I do. and I must tell you, I enjoy telling them I'm going to break that barrier. And also, you know, Lance, if I may share this, what I love to do is also to say to someone, if you don't want to talk or say anything, it's fine, because at the end of the day, you know, it doesn't make me any greater or any smaller or any smarter or any whatever to listen, unless, of course, it is important for you to say and to verbalize your pain and your experience. And very often it does help to have that opportunity to listen to yourself telling your story, because ultimately that is why we are here, is to share each other's stories and to share each other's experiences. But having said that, I love to say to the people when they are sort of sitting there for the first time and they've been referred by someone and they don't know who I am, how I operate really, then I see that discomfort and I say, it's okay, you don't have to say a word. You know, I will get to know everything that it is there that is important. So it is a lovely place to be as well, because, you know, if the person is coming, they have already given me that permission. And once I go into the energy field at all levels, mental, physical, spiritual, sometimes into the continuum of their lives, past, present, future, you receive such an incredible amount of information. I've always asked, dear Father, Mother, God, let me just know what is key for this person. I don't need to be overloaded either. You understand what I'm saying? So I go then typically into the experience that they have inscribed in their energy, and being able to read into it and share that with them. That is where it all happened. That is where it started. It is a very, very, very special moment of grace for me every time.
Wow.
And for the patient, of course, you know.
Well, yes, and if, from your book, I can tell that there are some times when you have to be very direct with
yes.
somebody that you're healing. That you have to say, you just have to tell it like it is and say, well,
I have to, yes.
Yeah.
You see,